Ghostbusters Plasma Series 6-inch action figures from Hasbro. You get a total of 7 figures in this set. This is a Build-A-Figure set. The Build-A-Figure is Vinz Clortho, the demon terror dog minion of Gozer. And Gozer is the first figure that we're going to actually open up and check out here. And Gozer comes with the head. The other is Zool, who inhabited Dana Barrett, possessed Dana Barrett. We'll open her up as well. I think these figures are fairly well done. They look great. They really do look great. So, all right, first one that we're going to open up here. Gozer Plasma Series has interchangeable hands, and that's the only accessory that Gozer comes with. And I've already cut the tape on this box, so I can just slide it right out. And you have a nice background here. The figure, the tray with a tray cover. Here you have the 2 hands. Pop out that Vinz Clortho demon dog head. Yeah, I'm a little sunburned. Spent too much time in the pool yesterday with a lot of beer, so. All right, and here we have Gozer. A pretty cool figure. I mean, it's seems to be molded well. Not a lot of for a female figure. The other 6-inch female figure that we had looked at before was the Marvel Legends Shuri, and she just did not seem to be put together very well. There were some issues with the elbows, with like a weird squared off piece sticking out of the back and whatnot. This doesn't have that. This actually looks really good. Poseability and everything on this figure looks fantastic. The hips are not super tight or anything, and you've got poseability in the hands, and the hands will just pull out with that peg and socket. But the eyes in this figure, let's see if I can get it to focus. I'll show you in a first-person view. But she has an additional point of articulation here in the torso. So you have that U-shaped articulation that Hasbro seems to love on all their Legends type figures. Plus, you have an additional ball and socket rotating feature here. So, plenty of poseability to this figure. Let's pop the hands off and see what the other hands look like. We'll just do one of them for now. So, there we go. Easy peasy. Now, this figure does not have the bicep articulation that a lot of the other figures have, but she does have the hip and does not have the calf articulation. The high heels look a little weird, but I mean, I can understand why they're not going to have like this piece here cut out. I mean, it would make an easy break point. So I mean, the figure should stand on its own and whatnot, but you know, you've got the double knee joint there for the added bit of articulation and poseability. So, all right, move along to the next one. All right, now moving on to Dana Barrett. There is no Dana, only Zool. Let's see what she comes with here. Get that tray topper off. She comes with the Vinz Clortho torso. Vinz Clortho torso. A nice bright metallic silver paint on the back there, and pretty good sized torso. Build figure looks like it might turn out to be a sizable feature. Get her popped out there. Yet again, I think that they've done a good job in the sculpt of this figure. The dress seems to be permanently attached. You would probably have to pop the figure all the way apart, which I'm not gonna do. I'm not even gonna try that. I'd probably end up breaking it. To get the upper torso off, you do not have the U-shaped joint in this one, in the torso, you just have that ball joint, which I like. The elbows, of course, the elbows are covered with molded clothing, but they look good. Everything in this figure looks great. The hands are articulated at the wrist. You have plenty of head articulation, and I believe, well, you can't do it, but there is an additional joint in the neck that doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose with this figure because of the hair and everything. Let's pop the head off. The head is on there very tight, so I'm not going to pop it off. But yeah, the figure actually looks fantastic. Slightly limited articulation because of the dress. Not going to get the legs to move around a whole lot more than that without making some serious deformation in the plastic there. But overall, I think the construction of this figure, the sculpting and everything looks fantastic. On to the next. We'll check out Peter Venkman. And I made a little tear in the box opening it up, unfortunately. But it'll be okay. Not majorly visible. Get him out of there. Now he comes with additional accessories. He comes with the Vinz Clortho leg. Get that out of the way. We'll take a separate look at Vinz Clortho and get it assembled. He also comes with a ghost trap. No cord or tube or anything with this ghost trap. It's just the trap itself. And he also comes with, come on, Proton Pack. And the reason that I chose to go with this figure next instead of one of the other 3 Ghostbusters is because this is the only one that doesn't utilize a different, this is the only one that doesn't utilize the exact same mold for the body. The others, all 3 of them, I believe, and we'll check that out in more detail, but I think that all 3 of the others have the same mold for the body with just a different head. All the hands are the same. The torsos, I believe, are all the same. The legs are all the same except for Venkman, and the legs of his pants actually go. The legs of the jumpsuit actually go over his boots, whereas with the other figures, the pants are tucked down in, and so he has a few additional points of articulation. He has the bicep rotator, and he also has the butterfly joint in the chest. So that adds another level of articulation to the figure. Oh yeah, the arms all the way out. Let's see how that works in the back. And then it just allows for a nice bit of additional movement. You have a ball joint in the waist, and you do not have the U-shaped joint that Hasbro uses a lot of. You don't have another ball joint. That's probably why they chose to go with those butterfly joints in the shoulders, is because they left out some of the articulation otherwise. So, and double jointed knees. And then you have the articulation in the feet. All the movement around for the ankles and whatnot. And let's see how the Proton Pack, oh, come on, I'm hung up here. Let's see how the Proton Pack, it's stuck on the box, fits the figure. So you basically have a little tab hole here. We'll pop that out. And see there? And he also has a post in the backpack that goes in a hole in the back, like so, if it'll go in there. And snaps right in the side here. So there we have him. Now, the Proton Gun has a hole here, and the cord wraps up around so that the gun can actually attach to a post. And there we have it. This is a cool looking figure, and this brings back a lot to the original. It brings back a lot of memories from the original Ghostbusters movie. The head sculpt, I think they did a fantastic job on, really capturing the likeness of the actor. Our next figure is Ray Stantz. The heart of the team, Ray's ready and more than willing to bust some ghosts. And let's see what all he comes with. I'm fairly sure that he uses the same torso, maybe different. Yeah, he actually may have a different torso. So he comes with a Vinz Clortho leg. We'll pop that out, throw it to the side. See if I can get a good grip on the figure without making a bunch of noise. I'll grab him by his toe. There we go. Now he comes with ecto goggles and Proton Pack. Proton Pack figure. Now this figure appears to have a little bit of a belly. He does also have the same butterfly joints in the chest, bicep rotators. The articulation on this figure is the same as it was on Peter Venkman. Now, see what I was saying about with the boots? The lower legs are different. They have the legs of the jumpsuit tucked into the boot, whereas with Peter Venkman, they were over the top. So I mean, it's just a little bit of difference for one of the figures. Let's see here. You know what? That torso might be different. Let's look at a side-by-side comparison here. It is. It is. His torso is just a little bit different. He's got a little bit of a belly there. So, let's throw his ecto goggles on. All right, now we'll try that again. We'll get the goggles on his head. They're a stretchable, pliable plastic. So there's not going to be any damage or anything stretching these around, I don't think. So there's his ecto goggles. And same concept with the Proton Pack. This Proton Pack appears to be identical to the other Proton Pack. Yeah, it is. It is identical to the other Proton Pack. Paint apps, there's a little bit of variation in the paint apps. So, but anyway, let's get this around here. And get the post pushed into his back. And there we have that. Proton Pack is on. And gun will wrap up and plug right onto the pack right there. And I just popped his goggles off, but I'll move those back up to where they go. So there we have him. On to the next. Winston Zeddemore, the voice of reason. Winston's the one you want in your corner when times get tough. Let's get him out of the box. Come on. There we go. So, a lot of you know, like with the new movie coming out, you're probably looking forward to rewatching some of these older, the two older Ghostbusters movies. We're not going to talk about Ghostbusters 3. We're just going to avoid that. But here's another Vinz Clortho leg. Ghostbusters Afterlife should be a continuation from Ghostbusters 2 and have nothing to do with Ghostbusters 3. I didn't realize that unplugs. Apparently this unplugs here. So, now we have a Proton Stream, and we have the Proton Pack with Winston Zeddemore, who uses the same body as Ray Stantz. Fantastic looking figure. Again, the head sculpt really captures the likeness of the actor that played Winston. great articulation in the rest of the body. Butterfly joints in the chest, the bicep rotators, hip rotators, and the articulated waist here. So let's get his Proton Pack on. Get him geared up to bust some ghosts. Get that peg in right there. And all right, come on, I know this is gonna fit. Doesn't want to lock into place. Ah, there we go. And we'll wrap the, actually no, let's not wrap the gun up. Let's take a look at how the proton stream fits onto the gun. This is again a soft, pliable plastic. And you could pose him with the proton gun and the stream, you know, shooting it at a ghost or whatever. Probably Vinz Clortho. But we'll, for now, we're just going to wrap this up here and attach it to the pack. And it's going to look great. Yep, see? All right, on to the next. Egon Spangler, the brains of the operation. Egon's your go-to guy for the best gear. All right. This is the last figure that we're going to look at before we build Vinz Clortho. Get them all popped out here. Get that tray cover off. Grab a toe and pop him out of the pack. No, that didn't damage the figure. But Vinz Clortho's leg. I know you guys probably hate to hear the crinkling of the plastic. All right, Egon comes with a PKE meter. And a proton pack, like, well, that came off. I actually broke that. Right on. Well, let me get this out of the package here. This one's quite a bit harder to pull out than the rest of them were. So if you look, I pulled this off. It was glued right here, and then it just pokes into this hole. The other end of the hose just pokes into that hole. So we can pretty much get it back on there at least. Yeah, it's not broken. The piece just came off. It's fine. So, but yeah, there was a lot more tension in the vacuum formed tray for this piece than what there was in the others. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and attach it to the pack like so. There we have our proton pack. And let's take a look at Egon Spangler. Same body, the exact same body as Winston. They, it looks like they pretty much used the exact same body for Winston as they did for Egon. Egon and Winston have the same here. So, and I was wrong about that other torso. It is slightly different between those two figures. So we'll get him geared up here with his proton pack, and here again is the head sculpt. Check that out. Perfect likeness. I think that Hasbro actually did a fantastic job with these Ghostbusters Plasma Series figures. Wondering if we're going to see more. And if we do see more, are we going to get a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Build-A-Figure? That would be amazing. I would love that. If they did like a Plasma Series Wave 2, I'd totally buy them for the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Go ahead and get that snapped on there. And he looks great in his proton pack. Ready to bust some ghosts. All right, let's build Vinz Clortho. Hey, before we move on, the PKE meter actually attaches to his belt and a little peg hole right here. It'll just stick right in there and kind of hang on his side like so. And here we have them all standing. Our Ghostbusters ready to attack Gozer. Now we just got to build Vinz Clortho. Okay, assembling Vinz Clortho. We're going to pop this head on here, and this is a regular, just a ball and socket joint. Come on. Didn't get that audible snap, but it is in there. So he does have quite a bit of articulation in the head. Now the front legs have additional articulation in the shoulder joints from what the back legs do. So that popped in there. This actually seems like it's probably going to be pretty easy to assemble, disassemble, whatnot as needed for. Yeah, check it out. There's the little rotator expands to accept the post, and it snaps right into place. That's fantastic. That's tremendously better than what the legs were, the hips for the Build-A-Figure Hulk. If the Build-A-Figure Hulk had similar mechanisms, then maybe we wouldn't have had the issues with it that we did. So he doesn't have any articulation back here for the back legs except the ankles and the feet. That's okay. Doesn't really have to have any. And we'll get him stood up here. And there we go. The Demon Dog Vinz Clortho looks pretty good. Fairly pleased with it. We're going to open that big gaping maw of a mouth up. And a big evil terror dog. Loyal minion of Zool. No, not Zool. Loyal minion of Gozer. All right, we'll go down and get a view of him. Thanks for joining me and checking out the Ghostbusters Plasma Series 6-inch action figures. Ordered these directly from Hasbro Pulse, and you can as well. Plus, I believe these actually are on the shelf in Walmart. I saw some at my local store, which is a freaking miracle that anything like this was on the shelf in my local store. They don't carry anything. It sucks. The toy department's a barren wasteland. So, but yeah, we have Vinz Clortho, put him together, and we've got all the Ghostbusters here. I'm actually going to disassemble this and put him back in the boxes with all the figures. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's more stuff coming to you, not just G.I. Joe, but other toy lines as well.